Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal. We are being told to pull Colonel Lees from his hiding place. I'm going to try to pull his hiding place down on top of him instead. I think that sounds like a better plan. And remember, our wheel restriction for this mission is that we must hit each enemy in the rear arc at least once over the course of the battle. Fortunately, we have assembled a crew that should be more than capable of that.
Sensors have something.
Provided that we don't get shot to pieces in the attempt, of course. Can't zoom out any further. There we go. That is a 90-ton mech up there. That's a potential issue. So what am I looking at here? This is the hard light. The hard light definitely needs to get close. Remember, moving through water is slightly slower.
On my way.
So we want to be, as much as I want to be in the water to benefit from the targeting or from the cooling effects, we do have to be a little bit cautious about that with the mechs that are supposed to be getting up on people.
I understand.
I'm a little worried about bringing in 760 armor against something that weighs 90 tons, though. Let's maybe let them come forward. I want them to be closer to us when we move, obviously,
Standing
so
by.
I think this makes sense. Plus, we can get a lot more information this way before we make any decisions. Okay, so they have 3 2s and a 4, or 3 2s and a 1. It's a lot of weaponry. So that's a Jaeger mech. This one that we need, 6S. Yes, the Jaeger mech 6S is in fact one of the mechs that is still on the list. 60, 75, and 90. Alright, we don't have to hit him in the back first. We just have to hit him in the back before we kill them. I guess let's start by moving the Thunderbolt, because the Thunderbolt's turn is not likely to change a huge amount based on anything that the rest of the enemies do. Just back you up and we'll just fire at this guy. I'm not going to do anything particularly special here. We're not going to spend any resolve or anything.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Jaeger mechs are not particularly well defended. Wait a minute.
Wow, that was bad.
That guy... Okay, yes, he did move a considerable distance, and yet the game did not feel that I needed to see that. I was going to say, there's no way that guy could have shot me with an autocannon from where he was. But he just did it from a different place entirely. He did it from where he wasn't instead. A cunning stratagem, if ever we've seen one. Well, pretty terrified about this, but this mech is pretty fast. We'll be able to go real early in the next turn.
Going.
Let's just
Skyward.
get up here, and it's a Highlander. Highlander 733. That's on the list. Of course, we must not kill it before we shoot it in the back. There's not a lot of chance of that. It's very heavily armored, and it also has Bulwark up. So, the Jaeger mech is going to be really easy to accidentally kill. Let's maybe try to start work on this guy. So he has an AC-10 ammo. If we take off this side, we're removing 2 medium lasers and the AC-10. That's definitely worth aiming for. That's also, it's a huge amount of damage. We're unlikely to get it. But we gotta start working on it. Also, accidentally shot him in the face. That's cool.
What can I do for you?
Cool, useful thing to have done. Don't like the fact that the Warhammer can't get anywhere near doing the thing that we desperately needed to do. I think I'm actually just going to sprint it up instead of attacking at all, because we really have to get it into position to be able to jump in on people.
Yup.
And then the Annihilator has to do stuff, but has to be kind of careful. We're just going to front arc this guy with all of the guns. I think that's the plan. Yo, check that out. No heat generation at all. Thank you, water cooling.
Firing. Let's get
Boy, that's a
fired
lot of
up.
shots going to the
There's
wrong
work to do.
place, and then also a lot of shots hitting the Jaeger mech instead. We almost sheared off its entire left side with stray shots. Okay, so you... Boy. In order to get a back arc shot on the Jaeger mech, we have to really commit hard with a mech that is not very tough. Maybe I reserve down, because we have a huge amount of evasion. Then again, the AI pilots are incredibly accurate. If I jump in right now, this thing is going to be in some trouble. But if I don't go right now, I'm worried that the Jaeger mech is going to move in such a way that I won't be able to shoot it in the back at all. It really sucks that this doesn't give me a back arc shot. It looks like it's really, really close, too. Look at that line. Yeah. I think we're going to reserve down. We're going to let the...
Waiting for orders.
I mean, we can move the Thunderbolt now, but is there even really a good reason to do so? I guess so that I don't get shot again by the big gun. We could do something like this.
Got it.
Just back up and hammer him again, just trying to open that up, but not spending resolve on it because we're going to need our resolve for other things.
Firing everything I've got.
Okay, I actually saw a fair amount of those missiles go to the place we wanted them to go to there.
Holding for the right opportunity.
I was kind of hoping we'd get really lucky and cause an ammo explosion. It wasn't impossible.
Is that it? I'm barely scratched.
These are some very tough enemies.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, can you jump far enough to reach the back arc? Oh, you can. Your back armor is so thin. I mean, obviously, anybody who jumps in here is putting themselves in grave danger. Alright,
You have orders?
here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump you in to here. No, that's a normal walk. We're going to jump you in to here. You're going to... Oh, I didn't realize I had a back armor shot on the Highlander. How is his back armor? 50 points, so... It would be better to shoot from his side arc, but shooting from the back arc means that I can actually go at him real hard, since we've satisfied our thing for him. So yeah, I'm going to do this.
Certainly.
I somehow missed that I could make it all the way back here, and that's a rifleman. It's a scary enemy. Alright. We shoot for this part of you, and I have to turn off all of the weapons.
Target confirmed.
Okay, no blow through. We did unsteady him, which will affect his turn a little bit potentially. I really gotta get the Thunderbolt back further.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
That's a lot of
I hear
damage to
ya.
the center torso. But now that we've hit the Highlander in the back, or from the rear arc one time, things are definitely a little different. Now I could just jump up here and rip the arm clean off of it, right? That's what we do with our resolve. No, I spent my resolve. I have to jump up and hit it in the appropriate arc, which we can do. Yeah, that's what we do.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Nothing, huh? And we got through the armor. And then that happens, and then I get to use the Annihilator, and
Heavy
we
hit there.
try to disarm this thing, because otherwise it's going to rip the Thunderbolt in half, which is obviously very bad for us. Okay, the Jaeger mech closing on me. Interesting decision. I think I want to put the Annihilator maybe a little bit more out front. I want it to be available as a target. Accidental headshot. So we've hit this guy in the head twice now, and we've knocked him over. That's 3 points of pilot damage already. And one of his torso sections is open, so that's potentially a 4th point. Also, really easy to accidentally knock his head off at this moment. Okay, very happy the AC-10 didn't hit center. We really need to
Okay,
just
that was-
sprint the Thunderbolt
Come on,
backwards.
Mech Warrior.
Oh, except the Thunderbolt
Commander?
can't sprint because unsteady. Is my right side is weak, my left side is strong. That's a shame. That's not how we want that to be. Okay, I think we gotta do that and brace.
Awaiting orders.
And then you can now fire into someone else's back armor to open them up for stuff. And we have enough resolve to actually do 2 back shots here. So, Do you have ammo in your center torso? No. Wow, you have so little, or you have so much armor everywhere. So we go to his right torso, right?
Confirmed.
I can turn on a couple of the weapons since we didn't jump this turn. There's a decent chance we get a blow through here.
Target lock on enemy stick.
We crit the AC-10, which is not as good as blowing up the ammo bin, obviously, but it will at least make it less accurate. Okay. Starting to draw fire onto something that's a little bit more survivable.
I'm losing armor left and right.
We are now allowed to kill the Highlander and the Orion.
What can I do for you?
Our light needs to try to kill the Highlander or the Orion. I mean, it's got to be the Highlander, right? There's a non-zero chance that we just killed the pilot. We don't know exactly how much health he has. It could be 4. It's probably more than 4. But I mean, there's no reason to screw around on this. Let's just, like, let's take this actually seriously.
Got it.
Okay, we bored all the way through him. I think that's a good outcome. Alright, a little bit of leg damage. Not so bad.
Through my armor.
That thing has pretty decent leg armor. Okay, so the Annihilator could try to just dunk on the Orion super hard. We'll move forward and see if we can't put ourselves in a position where I could actually shoot somebody in the back here. And I cannot get an ammo explosion to happen. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And we're not unsteady, so we can sprint away, which I think I will.
Double time.
There is no way that they could get vision of him. It cannot happen. Now your plan is to... I mean, they haven't really shot at this guy at all, but it's definitely a danger. If I move to right here, I have no evasion, but I do still have... I have 1 evasion, obviously. But you know what I mean. Pretty much no evasion. But I do still have some defense. We could just take a bad shot into the rifleman's rear arc. Or, alternatively, we could just leave that to the Warhammer. The Hardlight's definitely going to be able to do that, and we instead shoot in the back of the Orion here. I think I like that better. We can do some decent damage from the back of the Orion. How far can I move? Like, how much evasion can I get while still staying in that rear arc? 2 points if I'm willing to come out of cover. I don't think I am. We'll just go to right here. We're not going to spend resolve on this. We're just going to try to get lucky. Is that right? It's like, if I spend resolve now... The thing is, if the Warhammer gets to spend the resolve, we kill that rifleman for sure, right? We'll just run in there and we'll rip him apart. So I think that's got to be the plan.
Firing.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Critical hit.
It's not the arm we were going for. He still has his AC-10, but now his whole structure is looking very, very bad.
I'm catching some serious shit here, Commander.
Waiting for orders.
The value of the sneak attack. So if we want our rear armor strike, we're going to have to jump, which means we're going to have some heat issues. I bet even with a vent here, we're not going to be able to fire everything. But we are absolutely going to be able to cut this rifleman down with whatever we can fire. Wow, we actually do get to fire almost everything. We certainly don't need to. Let's take it a little bit easy. So we probably don't need both the PPCs. 95 damage. 1 PPC is fairly likely to do the job. 42 damage and 30 damage for 10 heat versus... Yeah, let's maybe turn off both the medium lasers. I'm going to do it like this. This is probably a little bit overkill, but like...
Got it.
Let's commit hard. Let's not let's not guess too low and end up leaving the dude
Did you
alive.
see that? Did you see it?
Alright, so the only one we haven't shot in the back armor now is the Jaeger. Oof, boy, that's a lot of damage.
Confirmed.
I have to imagine there's going to be more enemies, right? We are not done here. I think we could probably just fire into his open side without spending any resolve and just kill him. Decent chance. I'm going to spend the resolve.
I'm on him.
Oh, that almost all went to the leg, even though I aimed for not the leg. The only aim I did there was don't hit his leg. That's all I hit. Well, obviously, I think we want to, you shoot this guy, because we can knock him over.
Roger that.
Also, might just kill him.
Come on, mech warriors. It's go time.
Boy, that mech is in
Yes, Commander.
rough shape. Now, we really, really, really want to hit you in the back arc, which we can do from just about anywhere. Stay in cover. Just prod you. I guess I may as well precision strike here, because otherwise he's going to get a turn. And we have no... Well, I guess we do still need to take this mech home. If we can preserve a part, I suppose we ought to. So if we aim here, probably shear off both the sides of him. But shooting from the back and everything, you know what? Let's just go center. Okay, one of the lasers stays on. Let's just kill him if we can. We cannot. But he doesn't get to go
Leaving on
next,
you,
so Warhammer gets to clean up the mess.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Alright, we need any one of the PPC projectiles to hit center. I'm going to turn on both the lasers, too,
Targeting enemy.
just to be sure. Alright, so far, we are pretty successfully sneak attacking these enemies.
Good to go.
I guess actually we should make sure the Thunderbolt moves forward before we start up the next phase of whatever's going to happen here. And do I want it to be the Annihilator who actually triggers the thing? Maybe.
I got you.
Just gives us the opportunity to gather our mechs up a little bit.
Moving out.
I hear ya.
I don't know exactly where I want you, but
On
it's
my
probably
way.
closer. You just brace and lose heat again.
I'm there.
Alright, your day of reckoning is close at hand, Lees. For Abraham Kobayashi and the hundreds of others you murdered on Shaulkala. You're coming with me to the Combine, and there you will pay for what you've done.
The asset has been secured. and is
Okay,
ready for
green light to
retrieval.
land. That was, I was really expecting that mission to get a little bit more complicated. Like, for anything at all to happen there. I guess there must be one more thing to do, or, I mean, maybe that's actually the end. It'd be super weird for that to be the end, though, right? We gotta take this Jaeger mech part. We have an Orion K. We actually have both of the Orion builds. So we don't have to take any of the other mech pieces here. That PPC, I guess, is kind of good at the thing that it does, but honestly... we just take that, right? Like, we do need to build that mech eventually. Piece of a rifleman. We got the PPC anyway. Okay, that's pretty good loot. And an okay amount of money. This Flashpoint has been very kind to us so far. Let's see if this actually is the end. Because if it is, we're going to come out, like, way massively ahead on this. We only took, like, a small amount of structural damage to one mech. I mean, it can't be, right? There must be something more. You've done it, Commander. As we speak, Lees is pounding his fists bloody in my dropship's brig. The arrogant bastard's composure has cracked. He's screamed himself hoarse, but to no avail. A monster has been collared, and a slaughtered people are soon to be avenged. I raise my glass to you all. Hey, will you look at that? He's drinking again. If that doesn't warm your heart, nothing will. Yeah, glad to see that things are getting back to normal. I'm just, like, waiting for the other shoe to drop here still. Normal enough, Commander. Of course, in the grand scheme of things, nothing has changed. Lees is just one man in a galaxy of troubles, and he's a small one at that. But on a personal level, I feel that a great wrong has been set right, and I have you to thank for it. Yeah, thank us with C-bills, Shugo Yamaguchi. Our mech soaked up a lot of fire over the course of this deployment, and repairing them won't be cheap. Oh, of course, Ms. Meyer. You will receive everything you negotiated for, as well as a healthy bonus. Enjoy the spoils of your efforts, Commander. You've earned it. Well, that was a hell of a thing. Yes, it was. But at the end of the day, we delivered Lees to Shugo Yamaguchi. Thanks to us, House Kurita gets to do what it pleases with a remorseless war criminal. That's about as clear a win as we could ever hope for. And it's a win for everybody. A butcher of innocent civilians, soon to be dead, and we helped lower the noose around his neck. I wish that every day on the job was this satisfying. That's uncharacteristically vengeful of you, Doc. Don't get me wrong, it's a good change, but I'm a little surprised. Don't be. His right to my sympathy disappeared the moment he turned his guns on civilians. The galaxy is better off without him. Well said. Now let's get back to it, everyone. There are clients out there in need of mercenaries, and we've got bills to pay. That really was the end of... Huh. That was weird, right? It was kind of a weirdly nothing flashpoint. So that arm mod is garbage. This heat bank is very welcome. The Zeus part, also very welcome, because we still need to finish that Zeus mech. And... +2 hit defense gyro, that's great. Wolverine parts we don't need. The Highlander 732B part is actually very rare. This mech is not on our list because this mech is a thing that is not made anymore. This is an old Star League class mech, and it's actually phenomenal if I remember correctly. It's a really, really good mech, but we're going to be hard pressed to find 4 more parts for it. Yeah, I guess we're just good? That's weird. What a weird outcome. Okay. Let's have a look at the list here. So all of these missions are 1 skull or less. Out of curiosity, is it even possible for me to put together a 1 skull lance? Like if we ran our lowest weight stuff, because we've kept some low weight stuff around for specifically this reason. It would be 35, 40, 45, 45. What does that bring us down to? We can make 1.5. So, that would allow us to do some wheel stuff on on these low missions, maybe. I don't know, man. I think these are going to be pretty easy no matter how we do them. I guess let's go ahead and consult the wheel. Let's see what it would like from us. I do need to continue modifying the wheel. What I would like to actually get to is for it to have way more stuff on it than it has now, just a much larger number of options, so that we don't see the same things all the time. Transitive high five, a little bit of melee, usually quite effective against smaller mechs. So the difficulty modifier on the transitive high five, and look at me remembering to hide the wheel, what a hero, is plus 0.5. So I guess to satisfy the wheel, we got to take on this 1 skull, and probably, I guess there's 2 1 skulls, but we'll take on the supply lines one. And then after we do that, I'll probably end the episode there, and I'll just run through the rest of these off camera, because mostly these are going to be pretty uninteresting, right? Alright, supply lines. We're trying to safely transport injured personnel to one of our facilities on Lindsay. Unfortunately, satellite surveillance has shown pirate units operating in the region we're expecting to move our convoy through. We need a mercenary lance to sweep the area and eliminate the pirate units. Please think of this contract as a mission of mercy. I'm going to think of it as a mission of blowing up robots, and we're going to take it as full pay, because the odds of us seeing any mech parts we need are very, very low. Alright, so we're going to run that tiny baby lance. I might want to maybe increase our number of smaller mechs. I don't know. And then we probably don't have to bring the Alpha Squad here, right? We can afford to bring in some of the pilots who are just like 1 or 2 skilled, just to drive people up. We probably don't want to go super hard on that, but like let's bring in Foxglove and Tiger Tail. I probably want to run Steamfitter as well, and then we'll leave in 1 really powerful pilot just to make sure that things go the way that we want them to go. Let's have it be Cruz. We'll have Cruz take on the Phoenix Hawk, because this thing runs fairly hot. I think the rest of our tiny mechs... Actually, this Hatchet Man also runs hot, it says. Oh, right, I put a UAC in it. Yo, that mech is... Okay, Cruz, you're driving that one. Steam fitter on the Phoenix Hawk makes sense. A pilot with ace pilot on the Phoenix Hawk makes a lot of sense. Uncrackable's getting traded out for Tiger Tail. Okay, and I think these pilots are substantially quite similar. This is a totally stock Firestarter. And this assassin is kind of a weird LRM thing. Okay, I think this ought to be interesting-ish. So we have to, at some point during this mission, we have to have two different mechs melee the same enemy. We must pass the energy of our high five through him to our friend. The only way that I could see this really being difficult is, well, I guess there's two ways. One way is the enemy mechs might be too fast for us to easily catch and punch them, and the other problem might be that landing a solid punch could totally just kill a guy on this difficulty, right? Or with these mech sizes. So we might have trouble getting somebody to survive to the second punch. Especially since we probably can't use a lot of fire on them prior to the punch landing. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Our mechs don't necessarily punch super hard, except for the Hatchet Man, who has, of course, that big old hatchet. I guess hitting somebody with a hatchet is not really punching them.
Command interface.
It counts, though. You know, if the whole idea is that you can transfer the energy of a high five through an entire robot, you can certainly transfer it through a hatchet into a robot. Alright, this is the area where the pirates are spotted. Just go over there and kill them. You got it. We haven't seen some of these mechs in a very long time. Look at how fast everybody is. It's incredible. Except for, you know, the melee specialized mech, which is by far the slowest of the team.
Picked up a blip.
I guess it's not fair to say the melee specialized mech, because the Firestarter obviously is also pretty specialized. The assassin doesn't actually want to be all that close to stuff.
Moving out.
Remember, DFAs
Don't need to tell me
do
twice.
count as melee attacks. Let's just let them approach. Alright, so they have a flea, which weirdly enough is considerably more dangerous than Locust. Okay, so there's the entire enemy lance. Not super good shots, these ones.
Yes, boss.
We have to try to get our melee attacks on relatively soon. Unfortunately, they're going to get to go before we do next turn, so probably, I'm thinking maybe what we do is we just, like, really charge in.
Roger.
Let's try to get way up close on them. And
Commander?
it says, hold on a second. 2 robots must melee the same target is what I've written here. And not that I'm trying to, like, rules lawyer immediately. But, you know, if we miss, if we try but miss, does it still count? I think that flea is probably our target, so let's move in a little bit until we can get a clean shot on this guy.
I copy.
And even with the intercept system, this is a miserable attack. I'm gonna maybe put a little bit of juice on that. I think there's no reason not to just core this dude. We certainly don't need to try to preserve any of these mechs in any way.
You have orders?
So let's have the Hatchet Man sprint way up as well.
Sprinting.
I guess I did maybe give my back armor to those
What's
guys.
the plan?
And I just need you to... It's not going to work. These guys up here are... I guess I don't have bulwark anyway, so it's not... Like, being in cover would still be good, but it's not maybe quite as important as it might otherwise be. They're all going to have a ton of evasion. I'm not going to be able to get a shot without all that evasion on it. I'm just going to sprint forward, actually.
Of course.
We're just going to get really deep in their formation. We have a lot of evasion. They're going to have a hard time shooting us at the beginning of the turn here. Do I reserve down? The answer, maybe.
Let's do this.
Let's have the Firestarter punch this flea. Let's start with that. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to stand here. I don't really want to Well, I guess showing my back to this guy is not so bad. He doesn't really have that many guns. Punch in the rear armor. How likely are we to get a kill? Like, let's say we turned off all of the weapons. We only punch for 45. It would kill him if it hit him in the center torso. From the front, that's not true. Okay, I'm going to run over here and do it.
Affirmative.
This is the setup.
Ah,
Wait, 45. He only had 42 health from the...
hostile eliminated.
Well, alright, we're going to have to punch somebody else. Oh, hey, they got a Raven up there.
Commander, I'm wounded.
Yeah, wow, that's
Getting
a
blown apart out here.
that's a hell of a thing that just happened there.
Awaiting orders.
Do you have the leg armor to take a... Yeah. We could, in fact, stomp a guy and be okay. So, is that also true of the Hatchet Man? 55. We have exactly enough leg armor that I wouldn't take any structure damage from a DFA. Alright. We're both going to stomp this Locust, I think. And it wasn't a Locust, I was thinking. When I said this guy, the Flea, was more powerful, I was thinking of the even bigger enemy. Shoot, I can't remember what it is. The other one in this line that is, like, remarkably terrible for its size. Okay, so there's decent chance that the DFA is instantly lethal. I'm gonna go for it, though. We're gonna commit these two guys to the DFA. We're gonna get that that massive flying high five going, because I just want to get this restriction over with, because I'm actually a little worried that we're gonna take some real damage here. Alright, Hatchet Man's taking a little bit of damage. You can see we didn't actually take any structure damage. We just revealed the structure. Alright, here you go. Here, this is what a high five looks like.
Going skyward.
Good work, everybody. You can high-five people with your foot. In fact, high-fiving people with your foot is hygienic. You're way less likely to spread the corona to them. That was a social distancing high five there if I've ever seen one. We'd probably just run up on this dude and try to blast him, right? Do we want to go through his leg? His left torso doesn't have anything in it. Let's see if we can knock him over. Not quite.
Hit them hard.
Okay, that's a pretty good version of that thing. I think what you've just done is get yourself punched a whole bunch, though. Let's run you in here, and we're going to try to turn on all of the everything and just put this guy away.
Alpha strike.
We have enough damage here that I'm not too worried about. I was about to say I'm not too worried about failing to get there, but apparently we failed to get there. I did split a lot of damage off into his leg, it looks like.
Receiving you.
Alright. You've gone out of your way to make it really hard for my pilots to successfully shoot you.
Confirmed.
So this is what you've earned. Oh,
Engaging.
check out the acrobatics. There you go. That's that hatchet action we were looking for. So we cut his ECMs clean off. He is now at 6. No, that's an 8. That is an 8. Center torso health. So obviously we want to just try to finish the job. Wait, what's his weapon loadout? He has 2 medium lasers compared to this guy's single LRM-15. You know what? Actually, yeah, this enemy is in fact still the more dangerous one. Alright, you, get dead. We managed to deliver 2 transitive high fives. The Blood Wheel cannot say we weren't trying. Well, it was nice of him to move all the way around to the strong, still armored side of the mech before attacking.
It's on. Good to go.
Alright, Foxglove, take it down a notch. You are having too much fun at work. I mean, can I melee him from that side? I can only melee him from directly in front. This is probably good enough. We're doing a lot of punching here. We don't get to use our support weapons all that often, so Yeah, take that. Plus 20 heat.
Tango, down.
Alright, we did it. We successfully, we beat some missions, we finished a flashpoint, we appeased the blood wheel on all counts, which of course is tremendously important. For not just our own safety, but the safety of others. And how much structural damage was that? 15, so that's a single day repair on the fire starter, plus 12 days in the hospital. For poor Foxglove. We got a javelin part, which is like, that's something, I guess. I would kind of like to finish a Raven. I think it would be cool to have the ECM ability. So that if we finish a Raven, I will probably try to find space in the mech bay for it, so that we have that available to us. But I think that is, at the risk of this being kind of a short episode, obviously all of the other missions on this planet are going to be that easy, so I'll just blow through those real fast. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time tomorrow, when we'll be back on Desolate Plains, and we will do it. We will complete that Liao Alliance flashpoint. I swear to you. Well, okay, that's a little much. I can't do that. But I'm going to try real hard. I can swear that. And we'll see you then.